The film opens in the icy waters of the Antarctic Ocean. During winter, a massive ship lies stranded amid the frozen sea. The captain does everything he can to safely evacuate the ship and its passengers. However, the cold keeps increasing and survival is becoming almost impossible. On a snowy, stormy night, they hear a man screaming for help. The captain and a few of his crew members rush to him, and the man pleads desperately, "Please, either take me away or kill me. Don't leave me here to suffer." Moved by his plight, the captain brings him aboard. However, as he does so, a monster approaches the ship. The creature was actually chasing the man, and the man continues begging for help. At this moment, only the monster's terrifying arms and long tentacles are shown, and as soon as it arrives, it begins attacking the ship's crew. Everyone fights it, but no one can defeat it. Even bullets have no effect on it. Seeing this, a soldier attacks it with a powerful mini rocket-like gun, but the monster doesn't die from it. It simply falls off the ship. In its rage, the monster begins shaking the ship violently, causing significant damage inside the vessel and endangering their lives. Seeing this, the captain, from above, strikes the ice near the monster with great force, shattering the surrounding ice and burying it in the cold, icy water. They think the monster is dead, but that isn't the case. Morning comes, and the captain goes to the same man they rescued last night and asks, "How did this monster come after you?" Hearing this, the man begins telling his story, and the scenes flash back. We see Victor's childhood when he was 12 years old. Victor was the son of a renowned scientist, and his father wanted him to become a scientist, a very good doctor. With a lot of hard work, both from him and his father, Victor became a scientist at a very young age. But his science was of no use. When Victor realized that he couldn't save his mother, he became angry at his father, asking, "What good is this science because of which we couldn't save our mother?" His father explains to him that it's beyond our power to bring a person back to life. And from here, Victor's new journey begins. He becomes determined to find a way to bring dead people back to life. He wants to find a formula or technique that even his father doesn't know. The scene cuts to the present, where the monster, which had been submerged underwater, emerges again. Surprisingly, despite being in such cold water, it doesn't even sneeze. After this, the scene shifts back to the past, where Victor continues telling his story. Victor keeps working on his idea, searching for ways to revive humans. Years pass. When Victor turns 30, finally, he discovers a way to revive humans using human organs and electricity. He goes to a meeting of prominent businessmen to discuss his experiment. There, he shows everyone that he brought half a human body back to life using a machine. Seeing this, everyone is horrified. They believe that Victor is challenging God by resurrecting a human in this unnatural way and imagining himself as God. They start abusing Victor and immediately tell him to stop his experiment. But Victor doesn't stop and throws a ball at the humanoid he created. The humanoid catches the ball and even speaks. Seeing this, everyone is terrified and immediately tell Victor to leave. No one is willing to invest in his experiment. Victor leaves, leaving the creature he created writhing in pain behind. Some people turn their backs on his research and success because they believe that if the world learns about his discovery, no one would die anymore and the world would become overcrowded. A disheartened Victor leaves, and then a wealthy businessman calls him. This businessman has a lot of money and a massive business empire, but his life is very short. For years, he has been searching for a way to cure his illness and extend his life. Now, after watching Victor and learning about his experiments, he feels hopeful that he too can live longer. The businessman tells Victor, "I'll get you all the money you need, all the equipment you want from anywhere in the world. Build your own lab and complete your experiment so you can save my life later." Victor is overjoyed. He goes to his brother William's house to share the news that he's building his own lab. His brother is delighted with his success. Victor meets Elizabeth, William's wife, who explains to him that there's a fine line between science and God. Use science only to complete your experiments. Don't ever consider yourself God. Now Victor goes to a faraway place where no one can discover his experiments. He slowly transforms a mansion into his own castle and orders 2 large silver antennas. He knows that bringing a full human to life will require a tremendous amount of electricity, and no one at the time can produce such power. To bring a human to life, he plans to use lightning. These silver antennas are designed to capture lightning and complete his experiment, bringing the humanoid to life. William and Elizabeth, the niece of a prominent businessman, also support Victor. They help him complete the lab. After the lab is built, Victor conducts numerous experiments to bring a full human to life, but he is unsuccessful. Then Elizabeth tells him, "Not like that. You have to start from scratch. Look at yourself, created the way a human naturally moves." Victor understands Elizabeth's point and begins his experiment again. He focuses on his own movements, and to make his humanoid move, he connects the skeleton and muscles with wires, enabling it to move its arms and legs and walk. He lays wires throughout the creature's body. After completing the body structure, Victor now needs to install all the organs. Where would he find them? A war is going on at that time. He collects several dead bodies from the battlefield and, removing organs from them, implants them into his humanoid exactly like a real human being. The process is gruesome and horrific. Victor cuts open each dead body to find the right organs. He implants the eyes of one person and the nose of another into his humanoid. Finally, when he finishes the body, he names it Frankenstein. He connects its heart to a power machine that will bring it to life through electricity. Now he waits for a thunderstorm, when lightning will strike the silver antennas and bring Frankenstein to life. One day, a storm arrives. Victor believes his experiment will be completed today. On that same day, the businessman who funded him arrives. Victor asks him, "Look, today the experiment will be complete. What do you want from me?" The man replies, "What else can I want? I just want you to bring me back to life, just like this body, when I die. And if you can't bring me back to life, then put my heart and mind in this body." Hearing this, Victor says, "No, I will not tamper with my body further." The businessman becomes enraged. They argue, and a fight breaks out. During the struggle, the businessman falls and dies. Lightning strikes the towers Victor has built, but even then, Victor believes his experiment has failed. The humanoid still hasn't come to life. Victor is devastated. His years of hard work feel like wasted. Exhausted, he falls asleep. When he wakes up the next morning, he cannot believe his eyes. Frankenstein is walking. He is standing right before him. The sight of his creature, wrapped in bandages, terrifies him. His movements are strange and unnatural. It is obvious that this is not a normal human being. As a creature connected with wires, every part of its body taken from multiple corpses, it looks horrifying. Even Victor is scared of Frankenstein. That's why he locks him in a secret room. Victor realizes that the huge creature's brain is like that of a newborn baby. Victor teaches him to speak, first naming him after himself and saying, "I am Victor." Frankenstein repeats in his terrifying voice, "I am Victor." Day by day, Victor teaches him how to live a normal human life. But Victor forgets something. Mentally, Frankenstein is still a child and must be treated like one. A few days later, William comes to visit Victor with Elizabeth. Victor is alarmed by their arrival since Victor had killed Elizabeth's uncle. Victor hasn't met Elizabeth yet when she hears noises from the basement. When she goes there, she encounters Frankenstein. She is astonished by his appearance and delighted at Victor's success. Seeing Frankenstein, she says, "You're so big!" Frankenstein asks her name, and Elizabeth tells him. She even tries to teach Frankenstein. She tells him 3 words: water, air, and fire. When Victor notices that Frankenstein understands Elizabeth better than him because she's explaining things on a child level, Victor feels a little jealous. Angered, he tells William to take Elizabeth away immediately. "The creature I created is dangerous. It's the one who killed Elizabeth's uncle."
He shows William the businessman's body and says, "If you value your life and your wife's life, leave today. I will kill this creature too." William, following Victor's advice, takes Elizabeth out of the castle. As they leave, Victor pours gasoline all over the palace and sets it on fire, blowing up the entire place, sending Victor flying out. His leg is so badly injured that it is almost severed, barely attached by a few veins. Seeing Victor's condition, William becomes distraught and takes him and Elizabeth back to the city. The scene then cuts to the present. In the present, Frankenstein has emerged from the water unharmed and, seeking revenge, enters the ship and begins setting parts of it on fire. The captain confronts him and asks, "Is the story Victor told you true? Are you really so dangerous that you kill humans?" Frankenstein replies, "No, that is only half the truth. I have never killed a human. Yes, I admit, I am angry with Victor. I want revenge for what he did to me. He left me in the burning palace. I barely escaped through the basement. That path led into the woods. I wandered the woods for years. Victor never considered that mentally I was a child. How could I survive in the world alone? Even animals would run away in fear at the sight of me. I was so lonely. In the woods, hunters would see me and immediately attack me because they thought I was evil. One day, hunters spotted him again and he couldn't escape and they shot him. To save himself, he ran to a house and hid inside. When he regained consciousness, all his wounds had healed. Frankenstein recounts it with astonishment. He says, "I looked inside that house again. So many people lived there, full of love and care. I realized I too should have a family like that, people I could talk to." Frankenstein watches an old man teaching his granddaughter. He secretly listens and learns. He studies their language and behavior. He wants to become a part of this family. He sees how they work and take care of their home. He wants to help them. Sometimes he breaks bundles of wood in the forest and leaves them for them. Sometimes he hunts a deer for them. The family wonders who's helping them. The old man says, "Maybe God is helping us." Some time passes and the family decides to leave the house and move to the city. But the old man stays behind. It turns out the old man is blind, but he can hear everything, and he always knew Frankenstein was living there. He considers Frankenstein human and knows he has always been helping them. After the family leaves, Frankenstein appears before him and the old man accepts him as a member of his family. While staying with the old man, Frankenstein learns how to live like a human, how to read, and how to do all normal tasks. One day, when Frankenstein has learnt everything, the old man asks him, "Where did you come from?" Frankenstein is shocked because he doesn't know. The old man says, "You must remember where you were last." Frankenstein says, "Yes, I remember the place I came from. I can go there." The old man tells him to go. "Go there. You'll learn about your life." Following his advice, Frankenstein reaches the same lab where Victor created him. There, he learns about Victor's experiments and discovers that he was not born, he was created. He also finds Victor's address. He decides to go to Victor and ask him to create another creature like him, someone he can live with in this world. After learning the truth, he returns to the old man to tell him the good news. But he finds wolves have attacked him and he is dying. He's devastated. He tells the old man, "Don't die, you're my only companion in this world." While they talk, the old man's sons arrive, mistake Frankenstein for a monster and shoot him. Frankenstein runs and they fire so many bullets that he collapses. They think he's dead, but he's only unconscious. The next day he wakes up, but the old man is gone. His sons have taken his body away. Now Frankenstein knows what he must do. He must go to Victor, whose address he already has. On the way, he finds Victor and his brother William partying. Enraged by the fact that he suffered for years while Victor lived luxuriously, he attacks Victor and declares, "I will kill you." Victor says, "I want you to kill me. I regret creating such a hideous creature. I've regretted ever since I saved a monster like you." Frankenstein says, "I'm not a monster," but Victor ignores him and is about to shoot him. Elizabeth appears and takes Frankenstein's bullet. Frankenstein is heartbroken again because the old man and Elizabeth were the only two who saw him as human. In grief, he picks Elizabeth up in his arms and leaves the party. William, traumatized by his wife's death, tells Victor, "You have ruined everything." Even though Victor apologizes, William expels him from the house. Now Victor is enraged at Frankenstein for ruining his brother's life. Seeking revenge, he tracks Frankenstein and in a fit of rage, he cuts off his nose. Victor declares, "I will have my revenge." Frankenstein responds, "If you want revenge, then find me." Years pass. Victor spends many years chasing Frankenstein, carrying supplies that nearly kill him. One day, Frankenstein appears and says, "Give me the weapon you intend to kill me with. I'll kill myself, and if I don't die, I'll kill you." Victor hands Frankenstein dynamite, and the explosion destroys him, but as always, he survives. From then on, Frankenstein starts hunting Victor, because he promised he would kill him if he lived. While Frankenstein is torturing and killing him, Victor calls the captain and his men for help. This is the same scene shown at the beginning of the movie. In the present, Frankenstein finishes narrating the entire story to the captain and Victor. He tells Victor, "I never wanted anything more from you. I didn't even want to kill you. In the beginning, all I wanted was to find you and ask you to make another one like me, someone with whom I could spend my life." Hearing this, Victor's eyes fill with tears. He apologizes to Frankenstein saying, "I didn't trust you, the one who I created." Victor's condition is dire. He's on the verge of death. Before dying, he tells Frankenstein, "You must live in my place and you must forgive me." Frankenstein forgives him and everyone in the ship begins to cry. Finally, Frankenstein disembarks, frees the ship from the iceberg and sends it back into the ocean. Everyone is freed, all because of Frankenstein. Everyone waves to him as they leave. Frankenstein feels deeply saddened as he watches humans distance themselves from him again. But now he's determined to live his life alone. The movie ends by showing this as his ultimate fate.